Before there was Cha Cha Real Smooth, there was Shithouse, and before Shithouse, there was Madeline and Cooper. Let me introduce you to 27-year-old writer, director, actor, and producer Cooper Raiff. Over the course of one spring break at his college, he wrote and shot a 50-minute homemade movie with a 3-person crew called Madeline and Cooper, a film based on how he met his girlfriend and starring each other. It was the epitome of a no-budget student film.
My friends never held a camera before and weren't interested in acting, but so it was like a pile of crap for sure.
I wouldn't say it's Cooper's best work, but it was enough to capture the attention of his favorite filmmaker, J. Duplass.
I made a really small homemade movie, and I actually I put it on YouTube, and then I tweeted the YouTube link to a filmmaker, my favorite filmmaker, J. Duplass. Won't click on this link and then email me after. Ooh. And then 24 hours later, literally 24 hours later, he emailed me, said I won the bet, and I got lunch with him. And
that's crazy.
Yeah.
Together, they turned Madeline and Cooper into a full-feature film called Shithouse, which Cooper wrote, directed, produced, co-edited, and starred in. It was an indie hit, and won the Grand Jury Prize for Best Narrative Feature at the South by Southwest Film Festival. It also introduced Dakota Johnson to Cooper's existence. She loves Shithouse so much that she agreed to act in and produce his next feature without the script even existing yet. No problem though, because he ends up writing Cha Cha Real Smooth in 2 weeks, and then directs and stars in it as well. This one was an even bigger success than Shithouse. It won the Audience Award at Sundance, and Apple TV bought it for $15 million. Oh yeah, and he does all this by the age of 25. But seriously, what is it about Cooper Raiff's work that's so unique? What made his shitty student film stand out compared to all the other shitty student films? Well, I'd like to tell you my theory on why I think Cooper Raiff is such a special and unique voice in Hollywood right now, and why I love his films so much. Let's start with his first real full feature, Shithouse.
I was cherry picking. I was cherry picking dreams.
Shithouse follows Alex, a college freshman native to Texas going to school in LA and living on his own for the first time. He's struggling with his transition to college, is feeling lonely, and hasn't been able to make any friends. But after a depressing party at a frat house called Shithouse, he meets Maggie, a sophomore RA from his dorm floor who has a very different outlook on college than he does. After a failed attempt to hook up, they go on a walk around the campus to bury her dead pet turtle and get to know each other in a very Before Sunrise-esque kind of way. Also, in the original short film Madeline and Cooper, there actually is a scene where Cooper is watching Before Sunrise. I really like that little cameo since it was very clearly inspired by the movie, and I wish they had kept that as a scene in Shithouse, but anyways. Don't let the title Shithouse scare you away, because this is actually a very sweet and emotional little movie that, in my opinion, I would recommend to any college student. In a Q&A for Shithouse, Cooper said that the movie for him is about leaving home and figuring out how to take care of yourself by yourself for the first time.
And we both got dropped off in a place where we don't know anybody. And at the end of each day, we can't go home to our parents' unconditional love. It's like we're newborn babies here, but we don't have anybody to hold us.
What?
It's exploring that weird stage when you're adjusting to being and living like an adult when you still feel like a child. Despite him being a college student, I appreciate the way they added some childlike elements to Alex's character, they're still left over from when he was younger. It feels realistic because when you go from being a child to an adult, even when you are going through big transitions like moving to college, we don't just age up like a sim. Growing up is gradual. There are elements of our child self that are still part of ourselves. One of my favorite ways that Cooper chooses to show that is through Alex's stuffed wolf that he talks to.
To be honest, I hang out with my stuffed animal from home a lot. I talk to him some. That's not true, I don't talk to him. I'm more of just spend a lot of time in my room and my stuffed animal's in the room. I'm exaggerating. That's not.
Those scenes are obviously very funny, with the wolf's responses being in little written text.
Why is college so hard? I feel like I'm just floating and nobody what?
But it's also interesting to think about in terms of Alex's character development, because as the movie progresses and Alex starts to grow up and let go of his childhood more, we see less of the wolf. But Alex's journey overall with leaving home and trying to grow up is, I think, objectively very relatable for most people. During Alex's first time going to a shithouse party, he steps outside to call his mom and lies to her, saying he's sick with a cold. We know that all he wants in that moment is to feel cared for by someone besides himself. Another reason I think Shithouse succeeds at feeling so relatable is its realistic and awkward dialogue.
You don't have to. I mean, I'm gonna be awake if you want to hang out. Like, I was gonna, like, stay up and drink wine if you... I'm just saying, you don't have to leave right now. I would feel weird if I drank alone, but, like, I feel like it would help me sleep, so I was thinking, like, that could be good, but, like, also go if you... I feel like you were trying to go. So,
No, I wasn't. I mean, I was trying, that's because I would love to stay.
Okay, you don't have to. I mean,
No,
I feel like
It doesn't play up the wittiness the way most films and TV do with young adult dialogue.
Did we walk home last night?
No, we didn't, but I came back in and you were asleep, and then I went over and I put you on your side, and you were like, remember, you were like, I ain't no cuddling bitch ass. And I was like, no one said you were.
It doesn't hide any awkward pauses, it forces you to sit with them.
I've been. You're like the girl from 13 going on 30.
Jennifer Garner?
No, I'm talking about the movie 13 going on 30. There's like the girl with like the little house.
Yeah, that's Jennifer Garner. You're talking about Jennifer Garner right now. She was awesome in that movie. What are you talking about?
Okay, I'm just trying to say, like, the premise of that movie is that there's this 13-year-old girl.
It helps that Cooper is around the same age as the characters he's writing. I mean, is there anyone better to capture the lives of young people than an actual young person? These experiences are also recent to him, so he captures it so accurately. Which leads me to one of my biggest points in this video, Cooper Raiff's ability to get personal with his storytelling. I think a big reason why Cooper stood out from other student filmmakers and still stands out in Hollywood is because he isn't afraid to get personal in his writing. His vulnerability with his audience is an essential element in his films. It may not seem like a big deal, but I've noticed a lot of younger people or younger filmmakers tend to shy away from being personal in their art, which makes sense. But Cooper embraces being vulnerable with his audience. Not only that, but his characters embrace vulnerability and sensitivity as well. They cry, they do embarrassing things, they're insecure, they need hugs.
There's nothing wrong with needing hugs to get you through the day.
But there's no shame behind any of it. It's not something they feel they have to hide. I think it's just really important to see characters, especially young men, cry and be openly emotional in media. It's extremely refreshing to see. In his second film, Cha-Cha Real Smooth, Cooper introduces us to a new character named Andrew. However, instead of Andrew being a college freshman, he's a new college graduate living at home with no clear direction. He starts getting jobs as the local party starter for kids' bar mitzvahs.
How to start a party, it's my brother, Andrew. Or should I say, the jig conductor.
It's fine. It's so cute. It's so good.
No, Mom, if anybody sees that, I'm gonna get put on a watch list.
Where he meets Domino, a young mother and her autistic daughter Lola. When he starts babysitting Lola, he develops a romantic connection with Domino. There are so many things I love about this movie, and it's so much more than the description I just gave it, but I'm trying not to get too carried away in this video. But at the least, it's extremely emotional and loving and really funny too. It explores childhood and learning how to let go of it in a similar way to Shithouse. Despite Cooper's success at such an early age, he really emphasizes in his work that it's okay to not have everything figured out and to grow at your own pace. A big part of Andrew's character development is him finally feeling okay with not knowing what he wants to do yet, and not only being content with that, but feeling grateful to have the time to figure his own life out separate from other people in a way that Domino wasn't fortunate enough to get.
For the rest of my life, everything is going to be defined by them. But you only have you. And how scary, but how amazing. You can just figure things out, and you don't have to worry about bringing another person into it.
That's another detail in both the characters of Alex and Andrew. Their difficulty with separating themselves and their identity from the people they care about, and their deep love for those people.
I want other people to help me in that. Like, I want other people to be a part of my identity.
I think it's about, like, figuring out who you are separate from other people and, like, taking care of yourself.
I agree with you, but, like, can you agree with me that maybe we can add to that agenda? Like, learning how to better look after each other?
Andrew is a party starter for bar mitzvahs, yes, but also for the lives of those around him. You can tell that Cooper is similar to Alex and Andrew in that way as well because of the love and care he shows every character he writes and refuses to let any side character go unexplored. There's a scene and character I always come back to as an example of this in Cha Cha Real Smooth with Domino's fiance Joseph. Throughout the movie, we see him as this subtle antagonist in a way. Since we are watching from Andrew's perspective, we view him as some douchey macho man who is supposed to be like the asshole boyfriend keeping Andrew and Domino from being together. But before you can settle on that perception, Cooper twists it in a very genuine and simple scene. For context, right before this, Andrew confesses his love to Domino and tells her not to marry Joseph. And Domino obviously rejects him. That's when Joseph arrives home.
I'm really sorry.
Roll the window down.
I'm really sorry, man. I'm a dumb kid.
I know. It's okay. Thanks for looking out for Lola tonight. Andrew, look at me for a second. Thanks for looking out for my family. You good to drive?
Yeah.
Despite what we're expecting, there is no anger, no altercation. All Joseph sees is a kid who just got his heart broken. But that's the beauty of Cooper's writing. Every character is humanized. With all the big action superhero movies and dark horrors being pumped out of Hollywood right now, sometimes I just want to watch two people getting to know each other, or some kid figuring his life out. And I think a lot of other people feel that way as well. I think when it comes to filmmaking, especially for film students, we get so lost in the technical side of things that we lose track of what filmmaking is all about, telling a human story. I have always said and will always say that I believe movies help people build empathy and expand their view on the world and the people around them. I also believe that there's something incredibly special that happens when we are able to relate to movies and other fictional media. It is extremely important to have and grow up with. It makes everything feel so much less isolating when you're able to see that you are not alone in the human experience. And film is the perfect way to communicate that. All of this might sound off topic, but my point is, I think Cooper Raiff understands that, and he knows that his sensitivity is his gift. It's why he first stood out when he made Madeline and Cooper, and it's why he still stands out now.